Hello, YouTube family. Attorney Lee Marvin here today to give you another series of tips and tricks on basic immigration processes. Today, I'm going to talk about the Fiance visa, and I'm going to talk about the three most important qualifications for the Fiance visa that are often overlooked or people run into problems with if they don't know how important they are. Okay, so Fiance visa. We already know that the Fiance visa is designed for people who are living outside of the United States, who don't already have the ability to come and live in the United States, whether long-term, short-term, student visa, or otherwise. The Fiance visa is a way for people outside the country to move to the United States while they're figuring out how to move forward with their green card process. Okay, so it is a path to a green card. So the Fiance visa, only a U.S. citizen can qualify for the Fiance visa. So a U.S. citizen applies for the Fiance visa for their significant other living overseas. That Fiance visa is then processed by USCIS, and the determination is made whether the relationship is legitimate or whether immigration believes that this request is genuine and that the person entering the United States is entering for the purpose of getting married. So that marriage, as everybody knows, is required to happen within 90 days. So that's why you hear this 90-day Fiance visa, the video on ABC or whatever it is. 90 days is the requirement for people entering the country to be able to actually get married and then to immediately file for the green card. So that's what the Fiance visa is for. There's three things that you gotta have or you're never gonna get approved, okay? Because immigration, the assumption is that you are lying. It's just the baseline for immigration. It's not because they're jaded or negative, not just that in any event. It's because the Fiance visa is, without a doubt, the most abused visa under immigration law, okay? Tourist visas are different, but the Fiance visa, people historically have done the Fiance visa as a way to bypass the normal green card process, and people commit all sorts of fraud and abuse through the Fiance visa. So they're very strict with it. So remember these three elements. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell so you can get reminders of upcoming videos to also help you succeed with immigration. It's very important to stay on top of these things, okay? So three things right now. One, proof that all your prior relationships have ended legally. So if you're the sponsor, the petitioner in the United States, and you are filing these documents for your significant other living overseas, if you've ever been in a relationship, it happens. It's not a big deal. The government isn't saying that you can't do it, but you have to definitively prove that that relationship is over. So divorce, annulment, death, if you were legally in a relationship. So there's relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, that stuff doesn't matter. It's the ones where you legally got the government of the United States or another country to recognize your relationship. That has to be proven to be over, okay? And usually, I'll give you another tip. The proof has got to be a certified copy of a divorce document or divorce or the annulment or the death certificate, okay? It's got to be a certified copy. Otherwise, immigration gets funny, and they're very particular about this. So proof that the relationship legally ended and a certified copy of that, okay? Two, very important. This is almost a deal breaker for most people. The 2-year meeting requirement. So you have to prove to the government very clearly that you have met in person within the last 2 years prior to the filing. And they're very strict about that 2 years. When does it start? Well, it is from when you file. So if you met 2 years ago and then you start looking into the process and it ends up being 2.5 years ago, that's not going to cut it. 2 years from when you file. Okay, they're very strict about that. And in person, it doesn't have to be any particular place on the planet. It just has to be in person. And you have to have lots of information to prove that you actually did do this in person, because this is probably one of the most abused parts of the process, where people try to slap things together and trick the government into believing that they actually met in person when they didn't. People are very creative, and I get it. It's expensive. It takes time and effort. But immigration is very strict about it because they want you to fail, because then they believe that they were right, that this was a fraudulent attempt for you to enter the country or to have your girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever enter the country, okay? So the 2-year in-person meeting, very strict. 3, make sure that your plans are in place to get married. Because again, the requirement is to get married within 90 days of your fiancé entering the country. If you don't get married within that 90 days, all bets are off. The process is done. You will not be allowed to move forward with the green card process. If it's 1 day over, they will deny you and you're done. So in order to get approved to enter the country, they need to make sure that they really believe that this is going to happen. So plans for the marriage, whether that's booking the venue, whether that's invitations, whether that's announcements to family, the government wants some sort of proof that you actually have a plan in place to get married when your fiancé enters the country. So 3 easy tips. They're not big deals. If you know about them, you can plan and you can make sure that you have them and you don't get denied. The process does take a while to get approved. The last thing you want is for the government to keep asking you more and more questions or proofs of things, or to deny you because you're just not meeting the basic information. Again, subscribe to my channel and click the bell so that you can get notifications of videos, upcoming videos about this topic and many others. In the chat, you can ask questions if you have clarifying questions that you have, or if you want a video that's clarifying other parts or something entirely unrelated to this, put in the comments. I love doing this. I'd be happy to do it for you. Give us a call. MarvinLawOffice.com has all of our information. You can call for an appointment, texting, whatever you need, we're here for you. Just reach out, and I want to help you succeed.